Welcome to Timeless Takeover, your no BS guide to lasting anti-aging and longevity solutions. Hosted by Marissa Parchman, founder of Timeless Skin and Wellness, this is your exclusive source for honest anti-aging solutions and elevated wellness. We offer a full-scope approach to beauty and vitality because at Timeless, we believe aging is optional. Serving discerning clients across Denver Metro and Northern Colorado, your transformation begins here.
Injectables aren't about changing your face. They're about enhancing what's already beautiful. Marissa Parchman shares how strategic treatments can support natural features while preserving your unique look. Welcome back, everyone. I am Millie M., co-host and producer, back in the studio with Marissa Parchman, founder of Timeless Skin and Wellness. How are you, Marissa?
Hello, Millie. I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So let's talk about one of the most misunderstood tools in aesthetics. How can injectables enhance natural beauty without compromising authenticity?
Yes, this is such a great question. People are becoming more and more scared of filler, and it just comes down to all the information that is all over the internet. So, how do we set an expectation to make sure people understand they're not going to look like a different person? That's probably the first step. We really look at the face from three different perspectives. When we're dealing with anti-aging, we're dealing with texture, pigmentation, and volume loss. So, volume loss. Everybody wants to do a laser or a facial, and they want me to take their face that's dropped down here and pick it back up and put it back where it used to be. And there is no way to do that without one, surgery, or two, using dermal filler. Now, injectables is a little more broad than just dermal filler, but dermal filler is going to give you the most instant results, the most instant and dramatic results. So, what is dermal filler doing? It's a hyaluronic acid compound that is sitting in an area that has lost volume, has lost bone density. For example, the cheeks. The lips are a little different. We do lose volume in the lips as well, but obviously it's not going onto a bone when you're putting filler on the lips. But for the cheeks, that's a big one. People are losing volume. Everybody sees the volume that's kind of missing here because that's what we're looking at, but it starts way up here. So replacing volume requires surgery or injections, end of story. So when you look at it from that perspective, we're not changing how you look. We're very careful. We're not taking a 21-year-old girl and putting 5 syringes of filler in her face. Somebody who's over the age of 45, maybe even a little younger than that, they might need 4 to 5 syringes of filler placed strategically around the face to replace volume loss. So we are just going in and repairing what used to be, which is going to just take years off of your face and make you look a little more youthful. So now we have growth factors and biostimulators that are a little more preventative, and that allows us to do treatments on a little more of a younger generation than before. I'm doing more injections on that kind of 30 to 40 age bracket than I ever have, because now we can put a biostimulator that's going to stimulate collagen instead of a dermal filler that's instantly going to add volume. So we could get into that another time, but the short answer is just making sure people understand we're trying to replace what used to be.
It's a lot to think about. So, do those things, so how often does someone, like, let's say in that 45-year-old range who has that density loss and is looking to fill, how often do they have to come see you?
Yeah, so at the beginning, it is usually a treatment process. It's usually a couple of treatments. So typically you're in once a month for 2 to 3 months, and then every 6 to 9 months for filler. Neurotoxin, that is more like Botox, often used in the forehead. That typically lasts 3 to 4 months.
Okay. And so is that working in conjunction with some of those preventative and health measures that we talked about last time? Because we did say, what you put into your body, the toxins that you put on your skin, all of that, is it like you combat it from the inside and the outside together?
Absolutely. And again, we are always there to meet each client where they are and what they are looking to achieve. So for the person that wants to do all the things, they would be coming in typically every 3 to 4 months for a maintenance treatment and their injection touch up.
So it's not just a one shot and that's it deal. It's an ongoing, like we talked
It's
about
really
last
not. It
time.
really is ongoing. If you think about going to the gym or, eating healthy, it really is something that has to be done consistently. Our skin is our biggest organ, so treating it from the inside out is so important, and it does take consistency. With that said, I have a lot of clients. I like to call some of my protocols my lazy protocols. I have skincare protocols that include 3 skincare products and 1 or 2 treatments a year. Again, that's obviously not quite as advanced as the person that's in for monthly facials and quarterly microneedles, but I have a lot of clients who come in just for Botox and a quarterly treatment, and that's all I see them. So that's the person that it's even more important to make sure you're doing so many of the right things at home and using medical grade skincare at home as well.
Gotcha. So how do you tailor those treatments to each client's unique facial structure? Is there a different way you treat maybe a rounder face versus a more square face?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I am constantly training and, watching webinars, and I have some of the more advanced injectors on my Patreon, so I'm always watching their videos. That really comes down to the amount of time, energy, and money you're willing to spend on your own education in this industry. I have grown, I guess you could say, kind of slowly in what I do. I was in the industry for 10 years before I started to become an aesthetic injector. So I've only been doing injections for a little over a year now. I'm very comfortable in what I do offer. And in the case that there's something more advanced that I might not offer, I have a group of mentors that can always help me either find the right practitioner for that client or make sure that I'm injecting appropriately.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Can you name any examples of like subtle enhancements that can make a big impact, like something small that someone can do that's like, wow,
Oh,
everything different.
absolutely. Botox all day. When it
Botox all day.
comes to all day, seriously. It's just something that you don't really understand how good it's going to make you feel until it kicks in and you're like, wow. So, Botox is the brand name. Neurotoxin is what it is. So, we offer a few different neurotoxins, and they are going to paralyze a muscle for a short time. So, a very small area that you can do is just this glabella area. You can take and pop in on average 12 units, 12 to 18 units. And that's going to lift this little area right here. You can see right now, I don't have a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
have
movement, but I could use a little bit here. But recently, I just put a few units just right in the center to kind of make that just pop a little.
When you say 12 units, are you sticking me 12 times?
No, I'm sticking you
Okay.
3 to 5 times
Ooh, okay.
with a tiny, tiny insulin needle.
And
Those are a little scary.
how do you calm people who say you're telling me not to put toxins in my body, but you're putting a neurotoxin in my body? How do you kind of
I knew that question was going to come at some point. I have grown to understand the system as a detox system. We are a detox system, and we can handle a lot of toxins. Like, we are exposed to toxins all the time. So when you become aware of how the system works and when you struggle with certain things that you're trying to reverse, like PCOS or high cholesterol or chronic heartburn. These are things that are kind of normalized in our society. You start to understand that toxic overload and being exposed to toxins are two different things. So when I drink a glass of wine, I know it's not the best thing for me. When I go eat a cheeseburger and some French fries at In and Out, it's not the best thing for me, but I know that. The problem is all the things that we're exposed to on a regular basis that we don't understand are hurting our bodies. So when it comes to injectables, it really is about pick your poison.
right.
Look into studies on your own, make sure you're educated of the risks versus the reward. There are a lot of things I wouldn't do. There are even a lot of products that I prefer not to use. But when it comes to a toxin, yes, it is kind of hard to wrap your head around,
Mhm.
but it's a pick your poison kind of thing. I respect the person that doesn't want to do it. And if somebody asks me for additional education, I have just a plethora of saved articles that I can always send to them. But yeah, it's just kind of a pick your poison kind of thing. Biostimulators are becoming so much more popular because of this argument. Dermal filler, does it stay in your body forever? Is it eventually going to dissolve? It's just,
A
who
lot
knows,
of questions.
you
Yeah.
know? Lots of unknowns. So that's why biostimulators are such a growing industry right now.
Mhm.
However, there's nothing that's going to freeze your forehead and take the smile that's droopy and turn it upside down, because you can freeze these muscles here. It's a really common area to inject. There is nothing that is going to do that other than neurotoxin.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And I do think that participating in a neurotoxin such as Botox versus the smog that's in the air, or like you said, certain products that we put on our skin and things that we encounter on a day-to-day basis are much different. And if we're doing those things that we're supposed to do as far as eating well and exercising and putting the right things in our bodies are designed to kind of filter out whatever it is that we don't need. So I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
very interesting industry in a sense that people come to me because they want their face to look better,
Mhm.
but chronic illnesses show through your skin.
Oh,
So people come in with, you know, rosacea and acne, and these are things that are stemmed from the inside. So it's just a very interesting concept that we've built this industry outside of the hospital or a doctor's office
mhm.
that really is treating people's chronic illnesses that are being often ignored in a regular medical office.
Yeah. You're doing such great work over there. Such a refreshing take on aesthetic care. Thank you for showing us how beauty and authenticity can absolutely go hand in hand. We'll catch you next time on the Timeless Takeover.
Thank you so much, Millie. Have a good day.
Invest in the best version of yourself. Call us today at 303-800-1821 or visit timelessSandW.com to schedule a consultation. Discover what it means to age with intention and elegance.